know Jeremy, not the brightest bulb. Didn't graduate high school. Do you know what Jeremy makes a year? He's making 6 figures welding with no certificate. He just
not even a qualified welder. Just,
not even a qualified welder.
That is amazing. If it's true, I don't know, because we're taking Jeremy's word, I assume, at this.
No. I know the person. Like, I know how he got the job, and so like I know what the job pays. Like.
Okay,
6 figures.
That's terrific.
Good for him.
I used to watch this welder on YouTube. I'm a bad welder myself, so I would watch welding and watch him do his thing and maybe learn from him. And he's like, "Yeah, it's a great job. It's a young man's job. Like when you're 40, you can't do this anymore." Now he was young; he might change his mind at 40. But
what kind of welding did he do?
This guy did welding for hire. So it seemed like he had a truck that he would take to farms and things and fix what was broken.
Oh, that's hard. They've got a job welding for the nuclear power industry in some way. They're always building new nuclear plants, I guess, and it takes like a generation to construct one. So if they start building a new nuclear plant and you've got a job there, don't think, oh, well, what are you going to do after that job? I don't know, retire. I'll be about 67.
The thing with welding to me is like, what position is the material you're welding in, right? If I can take it to a desk and sit on a stool and weld, well, shucks, you can do that for a long, long time. It's a little tough. Stools aren't great, but whatever. On the other hand, like imagine a pipeline. Sure, the top of it is easy, but at some point you're on your back welding up while like slag and shit is dripping on you. If you go to the material and it can't be repositioned because it's a pipeline, then now it's a hard job.
Sometimes they have to weld. There are these coolant pipes running. They're against the wall. You're in like a concrete square tunnel, and there are these 6-inch coolant pipes running along the wall, and they need to be welded all the way around. So they use a mirror. There's a mirror on the back, and he welds through the mirror backwards. Like with a little TIG set up. It's crazy.
Man.
If I'm on a table, I can lay some MIG welds. That's the easiest kind of welding, or even stick welds, which is the second easiest, maybe. Pretty well. You'd look at it and be like, that'll hold.
Yeah.
But if I'm laying on my back welding underneath my buggy, this off-road thing I used to do, you would not be impressed with my welds.
It's stuck together.
I had a friend who was like all about in high school that he was going to be an underwater welder. Like that's what he wanted to do. He took like scuba diving certifications. He still is, to my knowledge, unless it expired, a scuba diving.
I looked into this last week. This
really?
is a dream job to me. Yeah.
He told me, he was like, that's what I'm going to do. You make a ton of money. And I remember like, even at the time being like, that seems just horrible, like doing that. And then that dream died when he talked to one for a while. He like talked to a real underwater welder. And I talked to him about it like months after the fact. And I was like, you still thinking about that? And he's like, no. I talked to someone who did that. I don't think I'm going to do it anymore. And I'm like, what'd he say that like turned you off? He's like, he said it was terrifying. Like he said like that you're under the sea and it's just beasts abound potentially. you're under the sea. Just
I've seen videos of the guys doing it. And obviously it varies like locations, and this guy, he was down so far that it was black. Either he was welding at night or there was no sun that could get to his depth.
Oof.
And he's illuminated really brightly, but that just adds more to the contrast of the inky black ocean that he's in. And he's just down there, and you see the strobe of the welder and everything. And then a big fish like just goes past him, and it was so big, Woody. Now I know that it was not a predatory fish, but it was a big enough fish that if it had been like, you know what, fuck it, and like grabbed, like bit him, it could have taken him away. It was so big. Yeah. I couldn't do it either.
And something
Woody's the Aquaman of the group. Something about being down there in that inky blackness, not knowing if there's literally a gigantic monster feet away would be so awful. And you're focused on your work and you can't hear anything. Your senses are deprived. No.
The part that you guys didn't like is not the part that scares me.Ing deep underwater, that's why I'm there. That part I like. What got me was the cold. Apparently, the overwhelming amount of these jobs is in cold water. I'm picturing 18 feet deep. What was it called? Deep sea blue. What was the thing in the Gulf it was a
Oh,
DP? It was a drilling
Deep Blue?
station. Deep Blue, maybe, right?
Something
I'm
like that.
picturing that thing's got a leak. It's 12 feet down. They need Woody to come in there and weld up a patch or something like that. So they hire the underwater welder, and it's kind of nice, right? That's not it at all. You are so deep that the travel to the commute to get 100 feet down and back up without getting the bends is a time-consuming mess. The thing you're wearing is very constrictive. It's not the wetsuit I had surfing. It's some other underwater metal gear. I don't know what. It's black, like you said. There's no light at all, which is just a lousy, yucky work environment. It's freezing cold. The apprentice period is awful. Just the underwater welders bully you for years and years and years while you handle materials on deck, for them and bring lines around and stuff like that. And, the thing I was reading about was but once you do get in there and become a real underwater welder, there's a tight knit community of friends who actually have this job. I'm not here for fucking friends. I thought it'd be a good job. You could say that about any job. Once you do become an attorney, you have attorney friends. Yeah. What the fuck?
Do you know about saturation diving?
A little bit.
So they pressurize you, send you down there, and you're breathing heliox down there, so that and so everybody's voice sounds fucking crazy. There's a story about this guy in the North Sea of off Scotland or wherever, somewhere in that area, and there was a big storm, and the way they've got an umbilical that comes down, and I don't know what the umbilical connects to is called, but it's like a life hatch type thing that they can swim up into a hole that's in the bottom of it and take their masks off and chat, and then they can go back down and work some more. It's sort of an in-between from the surface and the work area, and they sort of umbilical it around to the work areas they need to be at. Well, there's a big storm up top, and the umbilical's being drugged. Something
Dragged.
about the ship dragged. The ship's stabilizing mechanism is faulty or something. They're being dragged, and the guy isn't in the umbilical. He's down on the workpiece with a hose connecting him to the umbilical, and that is dragging. And then it drags and drags and gets wrapped around something, and it snaps. And he's on his own, and the other divers are in the umbilical, being drug off into the inky blackness. That away, and he's down there with no oxygen for 35 minutes. They don't know how he survived. He just did.
He's just different now.
They went and by the time they got him back, a guy had to go down and muscle him up back and swim him up into the umbilical and get him in there and do a little CPR. And he woke up and he's fine.
35 minutes.
Dude, it would be cool to have a little underwater break room, where everyone talks on helium. How's it going for you, Taylor?
35.
That was really good.
Everyone sounds like fucking a dwarf. Yeah, that job sucks.
All break rooms should be helium filled.
Go ahead.
What extreme job does the kind of job that comes with hazard pay? Which one do you think is the most appealing? Because I think underwater welding is very appealing. I think I don't know about the death rates, but something about that. I know that I would be scared down there, and I'd probably freak out, and I would be best case scenario. I'm just full of anxiety 8 hours a day, and then the night I'm going to sleep thinking I gotta go back down there tomorrow.
Yeah. The fantasy of it is cool, but the cold, dark, murky water, that's not cool to me at all. So it's a bad work environment. If they got paid big bucks, you made $400K as an underwater welder with this very rare skill, that'd be neat. What's a neat job? The big boat salvage. When a cruise liner sinks and it's tilted on its side and they have to somehow find a way to refloat it and drag it to India for deconstruction. Mm-hmm. That'd be a fun gig.
That would be definitely preferred to underwater welding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of a hazard pay job that's terrestrial.
I mean, if there was, I'm picturing a cruise ship that's on its side in Bahama waters, and you're just down there this is wonderful with a cutting torch,
this
having a
was
good time.
Off the coast of Italy. I think it's pretty nice.
That's
not
pretty
too bad.
nice.
You want someone playing like steel drums, still kind of audible under the water.
Then you get addicted to it, right? Then you become an eco-terrorist. You're blowing up.
Oh,
You have to take the ships out in idyllic areas around the world so that your company can get the job doing the salvage.
like a fireman who makes his own business, right?
Oh.
A little bit of arson on the side, then you put the fire out. Woody's always the first to respond.
We don't get paid by the hour, you asshole. What are you doing?
A lot of his
terrestrial hazard pay job. Like I think of I don't know if you get hazard pay, but the lumberjack stuff is super. I think it's the most dangerous job every year.
Ooh.
I think you're right. Yeah, people get
Linemen?
crunched.
You ever see those guys who are just up on the wires, like literally traversing the big high tension, high voltage wires? They're up there with like gloves, and you see them like do that thing where they go to grab it, and at first it arcs, and then they get a firm grip. That looks pretty.
My grandpa did that in the 70s.
Linemen are the heroes that don't get credit for being heroes, right? Everyone talks about first responders, right? And of course, the police and the EMS guys and stuff, they save lives. Linemen are kind of first responders too. And they save lives indirectly. I guarantee you, if that power kept out, people would die. And linemen save lives on a grand scale, not one at a time. And like whenever they bring my electricity back on, and I know it's some dude who traveled here from Michigan to North Carolina because the storms were forecasted. I'm like, that guy, that's hero work. I know he's doing it for money too. Like I'm not dumb. Well, not that. I'm a little dumb. I'm on the spectrum a little bit, but but what he's doing is good. Just because he's getting paid for it doesn't make it not
I
good.
appreciate those guys. When I'm without electricity, it's a sobering experience. You're just kind of sitting there like, man, I'm getting tired of reading a book by candlelight. This is not my speed. I can only do that for it. We were without power once for 5 days or something like that. Like that second cold shower is really bracing. The first one, it's kind of like, oh, cold showers, emergency mode. But that second day when you're like, I don't think it's coming back today. And I need to take a shower. Like,
dude, I'd be going Asmongold mode and being like, I don't even need this. It smell like shit.
I got wet wipes. We're good.